Hello, my friends. I'm welcome you back to another episode of Let's Play Hearthstone 4, Kaiserreich, South Africa. Let's continue on from where we last left off. So, we are currently dealing with Black Monday. We're going to try to repeal the Industrial Consolidation Act, and I'm hoping we can use this to kind of bolster nationalist sentiment. Opposition rallies against the repeal. We have just tabled our proposal to repeal the Industrial Consolidation Act of 1924. The nationalist opposition has decried us as proving to be sock pop of the Hogenheimer once more, referring to the personification of the English-speaking capitalists in cartoons and Afrikaner newspapers, Die Burger, and the Southern Labor Contingent, normally divided between the National Council and the Criswell faction, and has joined them unanimously in condemning our suggestion. But this matters little, since the SAP holds majority of the Volksrat. More ominous is the situation in the streets. The International Socialist League has condemned our motion and has called for a general strike. Not everyone is inclined to follow the rabble-rousing, but several large mines in Witwatersrand are completely on lockdown for now. For the owners, this may be a setback that cannot be overcome with a combination with the crisis if we do not act soon enough. Okay, so I did just quickly go and check the thing to make sure which one of these we do not want to click. So we do not want to send in strike breakers. We just want to wait them out, and they will lose their momentum. But hopefully this will still at least somewhat bolster nationalist sympathies in the country, if we're lucky. The rise of the Regiment of Stone. Disturbing news from the coal mining town of Ermelo in the Transvaal has arrived. A group of armed Zulu men have attacked the local bank and taken away into the Barberton Mountains, with what were supposed to be the wages of the miners. According to reports from eyewitnesses, the robbers claimed the continuation of the Ninivides, a historically feared gang, which has lost much of its prominence, at least outside of the prisons as a unified entity. Following our leader Nongola's disavowal, following the encouragement of the authorities. It is theorized that economic hardship as a result of Black Monday must have pushed these men, who either were previously affiliated with the gang or knew someone previously affiliated with it, to organize once again. Despite their best intentions, the police were unable to track them down. Okay, we'll redirect some extra resources to bring them to justice. Now, we're not going to have a lot of political power. We're spending 50 just to repeal this act. Okay, Republican Revolution. The strike expands. Unsurprisingly, word about our less than worker-friendly response to Black Monday is quickly spread to social circles. Now, less radical unions, aligned with the Labour Party, and in one case, National, have joined the syndicalists in their general strike, putting the country on lockdown. In Pretoria, some within the cabinet are suggesting pulling the bill to placate the strikers, and to instead counter Black Monday with more Keynesian approach. Okay, we're just going to, I'm going to save basically every time, because I want to just make sure we're not going to screw myself over in some way. Different approach, more support for the radical socialist. We canceled. I think we're going to take you. Because again, as far as the thing said on the help menu, is that it just requires us not to send in the strike breakers. But if need be, I'll just, reload. I won't show you the reloaded part if I have to. If I have to reload, I won't show that stuff twice and waste your time. I will simply waste my own. Okay, so we do not want any special focus. We do not want any of resources, at least not right now. Raise taxes will give us more money. Reduce inflation. I will... do I need it right now? Be a 4 million. Thing is, I can't nationalize. Because we're not authoritarian democratic, internal autocrat, or social democratic. Increase I don't think there's actually anything we can really do right now that will reduce inflation. The Regiment of the Stone hits Nelspruit. A new iteration of the Regiment of Stone gang has emerged from their apparent Drakensberg hideout once again, this time in Nelspruit, where they hit the local train station, a key stopover on the line between Johannesburg and the port of Lurico Marquise in Mozambique, and made off with valuables headed for safekeeping there. Once again, police stood powerless to prevent the evidently well-planned escape into the bush to the south of the town. Disturbingly, it appears that the gang was already grown in numbers since their heist in Ermelo, and seemingly worryingly, the town of Barberton, where Nongoza is incorporated on a rape charge, is only some 20 miles away from Nelspruit. Police theorize that it is where the gang's intention to break him out. Others disagree and point out that this would be too obvious, and that the two successful heists in combination with smaller robberies underway have already netted the group a substantial amount of wealth. One more successful heist would likely procure the monetary means needed for the group to disappear forever, and in modern times resources like automobiles and airplanes, it seems implausible the gang would remain at large for as long as the previous gangs have. Therefore, they propose an attack on Bardstown would be a large risk following their existing achievements, and they instead point to the town of Lindbergh as their next target. Some don't agree with the proposal either, and expect the game will aim to leave South Africa by entering Portuguese East Africa as soon as possible, as a route of movement from Ermero to Nesprut suggests. If we can correctly estimate their next move, maybe we'll be able to entrap them. You know what? I'm going to say they're going to go to the prison and try to break out their former leader. We'll see if that is correct. I don't know if it really makes a big difference one way or the other. Mine declares bankruptcy. The Lord's ability to sell its metals on the market, in combination with the complete stop in production as a result of the strike, have become too much for one of the large metal mines in Witwatersrand. Unable to pay off the creditors, the owners have been forced to declare bankruptcy, and the company is already being liquidated as we speak, to try to pay back as much as being owed. Hundreds of jobs are lost in one go, increasing the pressure on the government to give in to the strikers' demands. What do we want to do? Given the limited damage. Again, we do not want to support the socialist. The reserves must roll out any minute now. Gonna take another negative 25 political power loss. Bit of a shame, but you know, that's okay. It's okay. We will be fine in the long run. Trust the plan. Trust the process. Okay, basic machine tools is finished. Let's follow you up with Concentrate Industry 1. And how much longer until you are finished? We have 16 days. It's going to be another negative 50 political power, but then we can soften the color bar, which I'm assuming is going to reduce unemployment to some extent. We can attract also then some Canadian investment, which I think would also be very, very, very nice for us. Complete recovery. The Windsor's Vat has roared again. And the Barberton breakout. Excellent news! Our estimation that the Regiment of Stone Gang would attempt to free their former leader, Nongolaza, was correct. If the South African police would not have been there to assist the prison wardens, they might have well succeeded. But instead, they were entrapped. A shootout which could clearly be heard in Barberton itself ensued, until a large part of the gang was deceased, and the remainder wisely decided to surrender. Law-abiding South African citizens need not fear these men anymore, nor was Nongolaza given the opportunity to escape, although there is little indication he conspired with the gang. The gang members who surrendered have guided our officials to their hidden encampment some 4 miles away from the prison, where we have recovered most of the stolen goods and money from Merlo and Nesprut's heist. Excellent work. Well, I appreciate the 10 political power. Soften the color bar. Employment reduced by 2%. Absolutely, let's get that going. And yes, let us then attract some Canadian investment. And what do you need? You need an unemployment below 16, 12, and then 8. And that allows us to get this stuff going. The strikers back down. After 2 months of strikes, it has been the strikers who blink first. While they are certainly still dissatisfied with our choice to repeal the Industrial Consolidation Act, the simple reality is that the reserves of the trade unions have run out, and thus the strikers cannot sustain themselves without striking anymore. We have won. For now. Okay, so that'll give us a lovely 35 political power. Which is good because we just lost 50 by repealing the act in the first place. I think we're still down political power because we spent the 50, and then I think we spent a 5, and then we spent another 15. So we're down like 70 political power, which is fine. It's okay. Reduce inflation. Have to repay the money. Inflation will grow if we print more, which I mean makes sense. Okay. I think we're still looking good. I mean, the employment, of course, is not great. For 72 days. So you get 2% goes down when you're actually finished, which will take some time for sure. And that'll get you down to 22. Presumably, when we get Canadian investors, we're going to get some more decisions, maybe, or at least maybe just unemployment decreases on its own. Then honestly, I'm not too sure how we're going to get it to drop even more after that point. Like, I mean, South African gold, we have the university, maybe. I don't know if those will actually benefit us in any way in terms of getting the employment down. But again, having a research slot is nice. Getting the flat negative 50% consumer goods factor, also nice as well. And it is mid 36. What natural resource do we have? We have a lot of chromium, right? Yes. South Africa has like a ton of chromium. So I think even like getting the extraction probably is not that important for us, right? It allows us to mine 10% more chromium, which I guess is like another like 50. But right now, nobody's really buying our chromium. So it doesn't really seem like it's going to actually be like that great. Okay, Finland has collapsed. I mean, we are pro-Germany. If we do go nationalist, which is again is entirely the plan here, is that we should align ourselves with Germany. I mean, Finland leaving, social democratic. Really? Wait. Have they changed the Finnish tree? Red Earth government. Huh. I thought like whenever Finland had a revolution, I thought like the fall of the kingdom, I thought it was always national populist or socialist. I didn't know they could just declare a republic. But maybe I just have not been paying too much attention to Finland. Let's expand the university first. Get ourselves the extra research slot. And we'll see what we can kind of do with that. Canada has invested. The Canadian exile governments have reacted positively towards our request for additional imperial investments to relieve the effects of Black Monday on South Africa. Hey, one more political power. Or one more silly factor, I should say, in 35 political power. Which allow us to get a political advisor. But again, we got to make sure we've got to hire somebody who will not go away when we go national populist. Okay, that's the plan. Again, the plan is not just to go nationalist. It's to go national populist. The Mashona by-election. When South Rhodesia entered the Union, General Smuts had hoped to recruit its English-speaking settlers to the South African Party against the Afrikaner nationalists. This did not materialize, however. Of the 4 constituents of the province, 3 have reliably gone to the Rhodesia Party, and since 1933, the Reform Party, which agitates for leaving the Union instead since its incorporation. The one exception is Masholand, the rural eastern part of southern Rhodesia. This constituency, already the most pro-Union in the province, has finally been wrestled away from the SAP in 1933, as a result of the separatist vote being split between the Reform Party and the Rhodesia Party. However, in January, the representative, Sir Regle Grey, passed away, necessitating a by-election. Of course, the Reform Party and the Rhodesia Party again eye the constituency, as is the Labour Party. But the SAP will not let go of their only Rhodesian seat in the Volksraad without a fight. Again, are any of you market liberal, social democracy, or just the SAP? I guess you can join the Rhodesia Party. I guess it doesn't really make a difference one way or the other. Again, who do we have? You're not useful. You will get dismissed at some point. Could have you. You get removed if you're the country leader. Which I don't know how that would happen. Brilliant lawyer. If you're still conservative or if you're a nationalist. You know what? We'll just take you. 10% stability boost would be nice. Oh, wait. Before we do that. Little power gain. We can't have you because you'll get dismissed. Okay, we'll just go with you. You're simple enough. You don't have any ideological framework. You're just a 10% stability and a little bit of production efficiency cap. You make my life simple, and for that I will grant you a seat in my cabinet. So I hope you're happy with it. It's a nice seat, I'm sure. We're at 22%. And again, we need to get our way down to... We need to get our way down to 16% in order to do our next Black Monday focus, which will take a while. So we can take you... Okay, so we got the ISAC. Research bonus again. We're not going to be in it for too long. Hopefully you'll be able to join the Kaiser Wilhelm Society when that comes about. Failed coups, war in Yunnan. Not a big deal for us. Again, anything that happens in China. Japan maybe a little bit, just due to due to we'll probably go into war with Japan when we join the Reichspakt. But what are the chances that the Japanese forces land in South Africa? 0. Like, they're not going to do that. So we don't need to worry about it too much. I mean, I guess maybe if the Princely Federation joins up with Japan, even then, like, the AI is never going to do that. Like, that's never going to happen. Okay, so they're in gold. Stellenbosch or Witwatersrand. While in other countries, the proposal to extend state grants to universities might be considered an uncontroversial act, South Africa has never been like other countries. The debate that has appeared in the Volksraad is not one as to whether grants should be extended at all. On that, both the government and the opposition branches are in broad agreement, the merits of a stronger university system being apparent to most. Instead, the controversy concerns which university these grants would go to, and in many ways reflects the main political divide of the day. National has been university insisting that the lion's share the funding go towards the University Stellenbosch, or Stellenbosch University, along the University of Cape Town. Stellenbosch is the oldest university in sub-Saharan Africa, and both institutions being granted full status on the same day in 1918. As such, it carries a level of prestige that is hard to match elsewhere in the country, and is certainly the highest profile one in South Africa. It also teaches most exclusively in Afrikaans, and is something of an intellectual hub for the National Party. Many national members got their degrees from Stellenbosch, and the university is a symbol of pride for many of the more educated and nationally minded Boers. Meanwhile, the SAP has been expressing a desire to favor the University of Witwatersrand instead. Although certainly not a classic as the Cape Town or Stellenbosch universities, the University of Witwatersrand is certainly a unique institution. Founded by the SAP Liberal Deputy J.H. Hofmeyr, Witwatersrand has gone in a substantially more innovative and progressive direction. Hofmeyr's stance as an educator is that universities should be open to all. Under his influence, Witwatersrand has become a mixed-race institution and has been closely associated with Hofmeyr's SAP. With national representatives arguing that the money should instead go to establish a distinctively South African institution in Stellenbosch, the most, though not all, SAP representatives being more partial to funding the less developed Witwatersrand. So again, we will choose Stellenbosch, because that is going to give us more support for the nationalist. And for extra slot, what do we want? We'll go for an artillery upgrade. It sounds good for me. We have 3 divisions of you, 3 of you. You're not great. Actually, no, delete this for a second. Because we're not actually building any support equipment. So we're going to duplicate, remove. Our wonderful copy infantry division. We'll get like 4 of those guys going. Our cap is 28. Like, we have a very, very large cap. South Africa is a pretty large population. Unfortunately, we are taking a negative 55% due to racial segregation, which I can tell you is probably not going to get better underneath the nationalist, especially the national populace. Like, that's not going to happen. Wait, we're at 15% now? What the hell happened? I don't know, but apparently we've gone down to 15%. Is there just like a passive? Because you go down by 2. There might just be like a passive ticking downwards. I'm not too sure. But hey, I mean, we're below 16. Invest in the IDC. Yes, the IDC it's actually one of the better. Yeah, we'll go with. Yeah, we'll go with you. It's got to be one of the better ones. Actually, I mean, Middle Europa, they have their little their UI element. I don't know, their own unique mechanic. The IDC has that just invest money. As far as I'm aware, the Internationale in the Philister Internationale, it doesn't have a unique feature, does it? Like, I don't think there's like an investment mechanic for the Third Internationale. There's also not one for Russia. Maybe they'll add one when the Internationale update comes out, whenever that is. I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if, each one of the major factions have some sort of investment mechanic, instead of it just being like a research bonus, which is what it is now. What do I want to take? The thing is, radar stations are not very good. Because, like, we're not really going to be at war over here. The pro-British, I think Rhodesia and Natal are going to revolt. So, yeah, you don't have a revolt here, don't have a revolt in Natal. But that's really about it. The rest of our forces are just getting sent to Europe. So there's not really a reason to develop our own radar stations. Especially since radar stations, we cannot build those in other... Actually, no, I guess you can build them in other countries. But that requires their level of radar to be higher. So, maybe we do want to get at least level 1. So we can build them for our allies. The AI very, very rarely builds radar stations, so if we can get that going, I think it would make sense. Okay, mechanical computing. South African gold. Excellent. And then we do opportunities for the unemployed. It'll make Black Monday a little bit less garbage for us. 38, 38, naval bonus. Do we have naval invasion tech? That I should check that immediately. We do. Okay, cool. Excellent. And for you, we'll just go for improved machine tools. It's November. It's almost 1937, so the penalty is not that bad. I feel like it is worth it to get that done. But I will say, at least right now, it's a pretty good time for us to end this episode. So if you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoying, throw some down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.